Next on deck with Tim Black.
Now they are thinking, what is my boss going to say if I go in, if I'm tough on a Trump surrogate? Are they going to think that I'm being too harsh on someone unfairly?
Oh, God, now they're doing this? So Don Lemon, he was on somebody's show, still got a show on MSNBC, and he was talking about being independent media, something he should not be able to talk about. But he was talking about the need for transparency in media, how corrupt corporate media is. After he was, done making, I don't know, $100 million from it. Check it out, y'all.
And others to be able to disseminate the facts, especially going into this next presidency?
Well, it's critical for us to get attention to those of us who are in digital media and may not have the platforms that a Joe Rogan or whatever. But it's critical for us as journalists. It's tough in independent media to sell, quite frankly, journalism and politics. Advertisers don't like it. You know what I mean? They're afraid of, Republicans buy cereal or Democrats buy, and they're afraid of it, right? Remember what happened with Bud Light. But I think it's even more critical for people like you who are in corporate media to be able to be allowed to speak the truth, to speak truth to power.
Hold on there, Donald. What'd you say? Oh, you said You said journalists are having a hard time speaking truth to power in independent media because there's no advertising revenue. Because advertisers don't want to put their ads on controversial content. You sure you're talking about independent media? I think you're talking about cable news media. Right? What am I'm missing something, right, guys? Are you tracking this?
Republicans buy cereal or Democrats buy, and they're afraid of it, right? Remember what happened with Bud Light. But I think it's even more critical for people like you who are in corporate media to be able to be allowed to speak the truth, to speak truth to power, even when the folks above you, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps above you, all the way up to the owner of the corporation or the shareholders, when they may not agree with what you're saying, when they may want another narrative out there other than what you as a journalist should be putting out there. It's more important that we pay attention to that rather than, I think, independent media. I think independent media is going to do what they do. Because
Jesus Christ, man. Hey, look, hey, Don, man, word salad doesn't work with independent media too well, brother. You need to dial it in and focus on what you're trying to say. All this tap dancing sounds like you were one of the trainers for Kamala Harris. Look, check this out, guys. Here goes a novel idea. How about speaking truth to power regardless of how much advertising money you get on a video? I never temper my video coverage, my commentary based on what I think the advertisers are going to say. If it's going to be in RPM or CPM of 25, 30 bucks or $6 or $10. I never think about that. See, you're going into it wrong. Now, there's some things I don't cover that I know won't be monetizable at all. And a lot of those things are things I didn't want to cover anyway. Because I don't do that type of like Tasha, whatever. I don't do like the gossipy, like this person, did they date this person? There's certain things that are Tasha K. I don't do that type of stuff. So I really don't have, but there are other stories that are just really like third rail. We know what we talk about, Kanye West. So like there's some things I gotta walk gingerly. You can still comment on it. You just got to be corrective. You have to be selective and delicate with the way you broach it, but that doesn't mean you change your story. See, the problem with you guys in cable news media is you will not cover entire sections of stuff, just because you want to adhere to something. That's a different thing. You don't really have a problem in independent media. Not really. I have not experienced, let me speak for myself. I have not experienced a problem talking about important shit on independent media. Now, there is a problem with people caring about it. Could be some important things that I want to discuss that people just don't want to watch. I think about the story I covered of Brandon Durham, where he was gunned down in his own home after he was the one that called the police. I couldn't get any traction on that video. People just don't care. I'm still going to follow up, and I'm going to follow up and report on it as this thing goes through the legal process, because everything ain't about dollars. That's something Don Lemon was never taught, obviously. And if he was taught it, he forgot about it years ago.
We don't have a corporate overlord. And we can basically say what we want to say. It's important to support. I think independent media is going to do what they do because we don't have a corporate overlord. And we can basically say what we want to say. It's important to support independent media. It's important for the folks who are watching here.
What are you talking about, Don? You are independent media. That's what you were doing. You were saying the truth. It sounded to me like you pretty much your show was basically doing what you did on CNN. You play both sides and shield for the Democrats. What was different about this? I mean, we just had an election. Was anybody questioning where you fell or where you stood during your commentary? I know I wasn't. You were already pretty clearly behind Kamala Harris. Obviously. I mean, I hate to keep going at Stevie, but Stevie Wonder could see that. You know, so I don't know what you're talking about. No, you mean independent media that's not Don Lemon. That's not Don Lemon. And the people that watch this woman on MSNBC are definitely not going to go watch a Tim Black show, because I'm going to shatter everything she believes in and be totally offensive, because I'm not even going to be nice as I shatter it, because it needs to be shattered. Don, you're not shattering anything on your channel, dude. You just became independent, but your thoughts are still dependent on your former audience who like you being dependent on the Democrats. Boy, bad right there.
Important for the people who just average everyday Americans to support. But I think it's more important that you, since you still do, in this corporate media game that you still have a big influence. It's a waning influence, I'm going to be honest. We know that this was a streaming election, but still have the big influence that you are able to say what you want to say and what you think is right as a journalist. It is also important, I believe, for journalists who are still in corporate media to get rid of the false equivalency, just because some things are objectively bad. A lot of what Donald Trump offers, quite frankly, most of what he offers to America is objectively bad. And because you point that out, it doesn't mean you have to point out something that's bad about the other side because you feel that you need to give balance. That's false.
See, he's doing it. Did you cover what was objectively bad about Biden? Did he? There are people that say, Tim Black, you don't cover what's objectively bad about Trump. He ain't in office, and we got 90% of media doing that every day. And have been doing that for 10 years. This asshole is preaching to the choir when he don't even sing. What are you talking about? No, Don Lemon, you never went tit for tat other than on superficial issues. There's been some definitive things that Biden's done very wrong. There is no tit for tat the other side to triangulate. All right? That border issue, all that fentanyl that flowed across our border, there's no corresponding, there's nothing on the other side you can point to. There was one party in control. There was one party that had the executive branch. And I don't remember you covering it well. I don't remember you covering it. You had a channel, you had an opportunity. So, yeah, same old Don Lemon.
False. And that's a disservice to the American people. And I think many journalists now feel that they have to do that. I also feel, and I know, that in the back of journalists' heads now, they are thinking, what is my boss going to say if I go in, if I'm tough on a Trump surrogate? Are they going to think that I'm being too harsh on someone unfairly?
Oh, God, now they're doing this? See, here's the, man, look, guys. Here we go. Here's the play. Don Lemon just exposed the play, what's going to happen over the next couple of years. We're going to have a bunch of liberal corporate media people going after Trump who would never go after Biden on anything. And they're going to be doing it from the position of, I'm afraid to go after Trump, but I have to for my integrity. They had no such integrity under Biden's administration at all. They had no qualms. They displayed no discontent. It seemed like they was down for it, man. They ain't showing no hesitation. Riding for Kamala, riding for Biden. Now they're going to be like, I got to go after Trump because it's the right thing to do. Their cry right now was Biden lurches us, throws us in to proximity of war with Russia. Biden's too delusional to run for a second term, but he's okay. He's good to go to be president still. I mean, if you had an audience and you were on cable news and you weren't talking about that, are you worth a damn? I mean, no, you're not. But see, Don Lemon has made many millions of dollars being a hack. And that's what you got to be in those situations. And I know it. And no one looked at you not to be. Only people that were delusional or people who hadn't learned yet what you are. But now that we know what you are, I gave you an opportunity as an independent, as you, maybe you could have been a different person. Getting them shackles off your feet. Yeah. You got out of CNN or they put you out. It's important to remember how you were put out. You were put out. Then you lined up with Elon. He didn't censor you, and you leave him because he's so horrible. I gotta leave him. Not because he censored you, not because he fired you, and you made a big grandstanding. You're a big ass prima donna diva. You know? They were only chosen because you were nice and safe for the establishment, or you never would have been chosen. And that goes for all of y'all. Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, Abby Phillip, all of y'all. That's why you're there. When you picking a team, you picking them for reasons. You don't pick the quarterback that's not going to throw the ball the way you want him to throw it. So, then you go a step further, guys. Not only does he leave Twitter X with Elon, then he makes a big stink in a big display. I'm leaving X because I can't have my account be here any longer. I must leave. Here I am leaving. This is me grabbing the handle of the door. This is me opening the door. This is me walking through the door and waving at people. This is me giving Elon the finger as I go out the door. And everybody else is sitting around like, just leave, man. Nobody cares, man. Can you cut the music up, bartender? Thanks. Cool. No one cares. So this guy gets to get all dramatic and pretend that he's something that he's not. Don Lemon, you are always who you always were. You will continue to be. And any glimpse of hope or anybody's mind, a twinkling in anyone's eye, that you're going to develop an audience of being a hard cutthroat, no BS journalist or something. Come on, guys. It's never going to happen. You ain't going to come in and take no viewership from anybody. None of you are. None of you will, because all of you are hacks. You're corporate. All of you. Everyone who left those entities, that's what they're going to do. They're going to do whatever's safe to do. And you're going to stay close to the knee, close to the ankle, wrapped around the ankle with the Democratic Party, licking them on licking the bottom of their shoes. That's what you do, bro. That's who you are. That's how you build your millions. It's what we expect. But I appreciate you shouting out independent media. But you're not like us. Thank God. We're not like you. All right, guys, my name is Tim Black. Go to Real Tim Black I'm everywhere. I'm on X, and I'm on Facebook, too. I'm on Tim Black Show on Instagram, and on TikTok. Yeah, I got a TikTok account, man. What else? TimBlackTV.com is where you go. Support independent media. Patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Somebody cares.